Because of this deep-seated belief, many locals meticulously avoid lingering near the ancient ruins after dusk, a time when the desert air grows heavy with an almost palpable sense of the unknown. Some seasoned tour guides, acutely aware of the local superstitions and their profound impact, make it an absolute point to caution visitors, urging them to depart the area well before the sun dips below the horizon, casting long, eerie shadows across the monumental stone structures and the vast, silent landscape. Yeah, there have always been those intrepid or perhaps foolhardy visitors who, despite these earnest warnings, chose to disregard the local lore, allowing their curiosity or skepticism to override prudence. These individuals, who ventured to remain within the ancient city's embrace as darkness descended, have subsequently recounted a series of truly strange and unsettling experiences, each tale adding to the mystique. Some have vividly claimed to have distinctly heard the unmistakable sound of footsteps, echoing with an unnerving clarity, reverberating through the seemingly empty, labyrinthine stone corridors and chambers of the deserted city. Others have reported hearing faint, disembodied whispers, insidious and chilling, emanating from places where, by all logical accounts, no living soul was standing, leaving them with a profound sense of unease. A few, more disturbingly, have even described an overwhelming, pervasive, and deeply unsettling sensation, a chilling awareness that something unseen, something ancient and powerful, was intently watching their every move, its presence a cold, invisible weight in the deepening twilight, a silent, unseen observer. Even the night gods, whose duties necessitate their presence within the ruins during the darkest hours, have frequently described their own series of unusual and inexplicable moments during their solitary patrols, adding a layer of professional credibility to the whispered tales of the locals and the visitors alike. Some of these scars have recounted hearing footsteps directly behind them, a rhythmic, phantom tread as they meticulously walked through the sprawling, silent site, their own hearts pounding in their chests. However, upon quickly turning around, their flashlights cutting through the oppressive darkness, they invariably found absolutely nothing there. Only the vast, empty expanse of the ancient city, just in profound, all-encompassing silence, broken only by the whisper of the desert wind, a silence that seemed to swallow all sound, leaving them alone with their racing thoughts and lingering fear. Researchers and academics, often approaching these phenomena with a scientific and rational perspective, typically endeavor to explain these recurring stories as mere psychological effects, understandable reactions, caused by the profound isolation of the vast desert environment and the inherently eerie, almost spectral atmosphere, pervading the ancient, monumental structures, designed to inspire awe and, perhaps, a touch of trepidation. They suggest that the human mind, confronted with such an environment, can easily conjure illusions, but for many of the local inhabitants, whose lives are deeply interwoven with the desert's ancient lore, the explanation for these strange occurrences is far more straightforward, far simpler, and infinitely more chilling. They steadfastly believe that the ruins, despite their apparent desolation and abandonment by humans, are not truly empty, not truly uninhabited, but rather teeming with an unseen, ancient life. They are convinced that the ancient city, with its towering tombs and silent courtyards, rightfully belongs to the Djinn, to those beings of smokeless fire who predate humanity's arrival. And so, in the mystical desert of Al-Ula, as the fiery sun finally dips below the jagged horizon, and an inky, profound darkness inexorably falls over the majestic, silent stone tombs, one haunting question persistently lingers in the cool night air, a question whispered by the wind. Are these compelling stories, these unsettling accounts, merely the products of ancient legends, fanciful tales passed down through generations, designed to instill caution and respect for the unknown? Or is there, perhaps, something far more tangible, far more real, still living among the ruins, a hidden presence that awakens with the night, asserting its ancient claim over the deserted city? The desert holds its secrets close, its vastness echoing with the weight of millennia, and the truth, like the Djinn themselves, remains largely unseen, just beyond human grasp. The air grows colder, a tangible presence, as the stars begin to emerge, piercing the velvet sky. Each shadow lengthens, twisting into grotesque shapes, playing tricks on the weary mind. The silence is no longer peaceful, but heavy, pregnant with unspoken possibilities and ancient energies. A distant howl, perhaps a jackal, cuts through the stillness, sending shivers down spines. The very stones seem to hum with a low, resonant frequency, a pulse from another realm. Visitors often describe a feeling of being watched, an undeniable prickling sensation on their skin, Even the most skeptical find their rational explanations faltering in the face of such pervasive atmosphere. The ancient carvings on the tombs seem to shift and writhe in the moonlight, taking on new, ominous forms. It's a place where the past feels not just present, but actively alive, breathing around you. The line between history and myth blurs completely when night claims Hegra, and for those who stay, the experience often transcends mere sightseeing, becoming something primal. They leave with stories, not just of Nabatean ingenuity, but of an encounter with the inexplicable. The desert's embrace at night is not always comforting. Sometimes, it is a chilling reminder. A reminder that some places belong to forces far older and more mysterious than humanity. And Hegra, under the cloak of darkness, undeniably feels like one of those places. Because of these deeply held beliefs, locals in Al-Ula steadfastly refuse to remain near the Hegra ruins after sunset, and even tour guides caution visitors to depart before nightfall, emphasizing the profound respect for ancient traditions. Those who have dared to ignore these solemn warnings recount unsettling experiences that defy rational explanation. Phantom footsteps echoing through desolate stone corridors, their rhythmic cadence a chilling symphony in the silence, disembodied whispers emanating from empty spaces, their soft, sibilant sounds seeming to coil around the listener, and the chilling sensation of unseen eyes watching them, a pervasive feeling of being observed from the shadows. Night guards patrolling the site have also reported eerie encounters during their solitary watches, hearing footsteps behind them only to find nothing upon turning, just the vast, indifferent expanse of the desert night, leaving an unnerving silence that settled heavy in the desert air, thick with unspoken mysteries. The wind, once a gentle whisper during the day, seemed to carry a different, more ancient song after dusk, a haunting melody woven from the very fabric of the desert's timeless existence, echoing through the ages. It was a song of forgotten ages, a melody that spoke of entities far older than human memory, a resonance that vibrated deep within the ancient stones themselves, awakening primal fears. The colossal tombs, silent sentinels by day, transformed into looming, monolithic shadows at night, their intricate carvings seeming to shift and writhe in the moon's pale glow, imbued with a strange, fleeting life. Each crevice and alcove became a potential hiding place for something unseen, a silent observer of the mortal world, a watchful presence that seemed to breathe with the very rhythm of the desert's nocturnal pulse. The air grew heavy with an inexplicable presence, a palpable weight that pressed down on the unwary visitor, a sensation that transcended mere atmospheric pressure, hinting at something more profound. It was not merely the cold of the desert night, but a deeper, more pervasive chill that seeped into the bones, a primal fear awakened by the profound stillness. A stillness that felt pregnant with unseen life. The very stones seemed to hum with an ancient energy, a resonance from a time before human memory, a silent vibration that spoke of untold stories and forgotten civilizations, now reclaimed by other forces. While researchers often attribute these phenomena to the psychological impact of the desert's isolation and the ancient structure's eerie ambiance, suggesting mere tricks of the mind in desolate places, for many locals, the explanation is far simpler and infinitely more profound. Rooted in generations of oral tradition, they understand that the mind can play tricks in such desolate, awe-inspiring places, especially under the moon's gaze, but their experiences transcend mere psychological suggestion, pointing to a deeper, undeniable truth. They speak of a deep-seated knowing, an ancestral wisdom passed down through generations, a collective memory that confirms the reality of what lurks beyond the veil of human perception. For them, the ancient city is not abandoned at all. It is merely returned to its rightful inhabitants. It belongs to the Djinn, who have always been its true, unseen residents, long before human footsteps graced its sands. These entities, born of smokeless fire, are not mere figments of imagination or superstitious tales, but powerful beings with their own intricate society and ethereal existence living alongside humanity. The Nabateans, in their ancient wisdom, may have built around these forces, acknowledging their dominion, respecting their domain even as they carved their own legacy into the rock, a delicate balance maintained. Now, with humanity's retreat, the Djinn reclaim their ancient territories, their presence becoming more pronounced as the human footprint fades into the sands of time, leaving the desert to its original masters. As the sun dips below the horizon and darkness envelops the stone tombs of Hegra, the lingering question remains, hanging heavy in the cool desert air, a whisper on the wind. Are these merely legends, whispered tales to deter the curious and the foolish from venturing too far, or does something truly still reside among the ruins, watching from the shadows, waiting for the unwary to trespass upon its timeless domain, its ancient secrets guarded fiercely? The silence that follows the sunset is not empty, but filled with an unspoken language, a language understood by those who respect the desert's ancient power and its hidden dwellers. Every rustle of sand, every distant call of a desert creature takes on a new, ominous meaning. The air itself seems to hum with an unseen energy, a subtle vibration that hints at other presences. Visitors often feel an inexplicable urge to leave, a primal instinct urging them away from the encroaching darkness. It is a feeling that transcends logic, a deep-seated knowing that this place is not meant for humans after nightfall. The shadows lengthen, stretching like grasping fingers across the ancient facades, obscuring details. What was once a magnificent tomb becomes a gaping maw, a portal to something beyond human comprehension. The stars emerge, brilliant and cold, casting an ethereal light that only enhances the eerie atmosphere. Under this celestial gaze, the boundaries between worlds seem to thin, becoming almost permeable. The stories are not just warnings. They are a testament to a reality that many choose to ignore, a reality where ancient entities hold sway, where the desert is not just sand and rock, but a living, breathing realm. And as the last vestiges of daylight fade, the question echoes, unanswered, into the vast, silent night. Is it merely the imagination playing tricks in the desolate beauty of Alula? Or are the Djinn truly stirring, reclaiming their dominion over the ancient city? The desert holds its breath, waiting for dawn and for the return of human light. But until then, the ruins belong to the unseen, to the timeless spirits of smokeless fire.